Hi guys, so these are my 2 weeks old broiler chicks. As you can see, I have 3 feeders. So let me show you how they look like at 13 weeks. At not 13 weeks, at 2 weeks and how many days? Today is on Tuesday, so yes, this is date 17. This is 17. Them at 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 days. Okay, so far so good. Initially, so they're supposed to have left the brooder, the brooding stage, the light stage, but I'm gonna let them grow up here till 21 days and then I'll expand this space. As you can see, this is how they look like. Let me up close. They're kind of, let me show you. So these are 2 weeks old broiler chicks. You see the wings have grown out. So far, health-wise, they've been good, but then I noticed one had some funny features. Let me identify it and bring it up closer. So I went to the vet. I was very scared, but this is my first time rearing broilers. Corona imenifikisha hapa and I'm loving it. Yes, so trust you me, it's funny how like every journey you have to make some mistakes and learn on the process. So I'm really glad I started with 50 chicks. So I don't know how they'll turn up, but there's that one on the corner. I don't know why it's sleeping like that. So fast. Okay, so I'm looking for the chick with some form of deformity. So I went to the vet. It had some lump, some node on the right wing, and again I've never done this before, so I was like, hey, what is happening? So I took a picture and then I took it to the vet, and the vet told me that sometimes chicks have some deformities. So I was advised to give it some bit of time and then see if it will easen out. I don't know, why can't I see it? Sometimes that might disappear automatically, the node that is. I know you guys are wondering what I'm talking about. Just a minute. Once I spot it, I'm going to bring it up close and show you guys. So I was really scared. I didn't know if that was normal, if it's part of the growth or what. I don't know if is it that one. Anyway, once I see it, I'll bring it close. Yes. So I've removed the source of light. Look at how peaceful they look. I honestly can't wait for 5 weeks. So anyway, in a short while I'll be talking about the feeds, how I decided to start, and everything else, and perhaps why they are not in a circular brooding space. I know most people recommend that. So far they look healthy. But then guys, let me tell you, so initially the first days, these are 50, yeah? So I wanted to buy like the whole 50 kg bag of feeds, broiler starter, but then I was advised to, you know, just buy as I go. So I started with 5 kilograms. I bought a certain brand, and I'm telling you, like within 3 days I could see some, is it 3-4 days, you could actually see some difference, eh? Like they were happy, they were bouncy and everything else. I was like, oh my goodness, it was like marvelous to watch. And then once the feeds, the 5 kilograms feeds ran out, I decided to, is it replenish? So I went to the shop, the same one where I bought the initial feed was closed. So anyway, I went to a nearby shop. What is happening? So I went to a nearby shop. So and I bought broiler starter. I think I bought 6 kgs. And trust you me, so once I brought it home, you know, you can tell right now they are not so noisy. There's some bit of noise, but not extremely loud. So once I brought that feed, like the commotion, I would hear them like not screaming, but very loud noises, eh? And I was worried. I was like, oh my goodness, I've heard you're not supposed to mix feeds. Perhaps they're reacting. I was so worried. So I called a friend of mine who advised me to maybe give it a rest. And maybe see how they react. So I think they got used to it. But remember, this is my first time, so I'm not even aware of like how they're supposed to grow. All I know is by 5 to 6 weeks, they're supposed to be ready for the market. So anyway, so I gave them the feed. They would make some bit of noise, like it's like they were not enjoying the food. I know it's funny, like how can you tell, but I feel like with chicks, sometimes trust your instincts. Like they are babies, you know how you see them react, and then you're like, maybe you are nanja or something was definitely amiss. Now stupid me, as I said, it's a learning curve, eh? They would eat, but it was a bit slow. I'm like, maybe it's just normal chick behavior. So I bought the other, I think I bought 6 kgs the second time, and then I bought, that other shop again was closed, eh? So I bought the same types of feed another time, up to date 14. And then I'm like, remember the first few days, the ones when I was feeding the first feed, I'm not going to mention the name, or it's Kagira feeds, eh? Kagira feeds, they were actually doing okay. And something else, I observed, when you look at Kagira feeds, it looked rich. Like it looked, if you've tasted fruit cake, you see that richness, that rich color, brown. There's fruit cake that doesn't look like fruit cake. Now real fruit cake, like on a brown sugar, it's brown, it's rich. That is how the feeds look like. And now I think, comparing it to the second one, I'm not going to mention the name because I feel that feed messed me up big time. Okay, the ones I started feeding the second time, so I would not see any like significant development, and then they are straining to eat the food. Again, remember, I'm a newbie, so I don't know. So what happened? Why did I go to the vet? I don't know. For some reason, I decided to go see the... Yes. It was day 14. Day 14 for broilers, you're supposed to give them a vaccine called Newcastle plus IB. Okay, so it's a vaccine that is 2 in 1. It has Newcastle and I can't remember the IBs. I think it is for something... What do you call it? Respiratory something, eh? So it helps. It's not Gumboro as some people would like to see it. It has Newcastle and Gumboro. That's a lie. That is what the vet told me. So anyway, I go to the vet. We are chatting. But there I have a very good vet. We are chatting. And then I'm like, you know what? I don't know. I'm giving them some. She's like, what feeds are you giving them? I'm like, I have no idea. Trust me, I didn't even know the name. And then she was like, you know what, madam? For broilers, and if you're doing it for business, These other feeds are not so good. Maybe Trust, she recommended unga feeds from Fugo or Isinya. It is unga or Isinya. Okay, so I was like, okay, you know, this vet sometimes they want to, okay, anyway, she deals with unga, she supplies unga. I'm like, maybe, and unga is so expensive, guys, so I'm like, she's trying to upsell. But then, remember, I had those doubts. I could see these chicks, the way they were behaving the first few days, like they were excited. It's like you are used to eating, I love chapatis, so let's say chapatis, like you enjoy chapatis, and then all of a sudden someone changes the diet to something hideous, like what? What's a bad meal? I don't want to say githeri, let's say, because I love githeri. What is like really bad food? Ile unakula and then you're like, ai, hii tutakula siku ngapi? Let me say what? Nataka kusema omena. Let's say badly cooked omena. Okay, so you are from chapati and chicken or maini, like on a daily basis, and then someone just, in fact, let me use this example. You've been used to quality tilapia fish on a daily basis. You are enjoying the food, nini, and then all of a sudden someone comes and changes the omena to the good fish, good quality fish fillet, and the kupatia omena. Of course, utakuwa like, so that's how the chicks were behaving. So anyway, I got curious, and then I called the same person who ordered for me these broilers. She's been doing it for long, and we got the chicks the same date. Of course, now she's done it for some bit of time. She has enough feeds in her store, and what else? Anywho, so I called her because we got the chicks same date. In fact, I picked my chicks from her place. She ordered them from Kenchik, and then I took mine 50. I'm starting with 50. We'll see how this journey goes. She had like around 500. So anyway, I call her. I'm like, please, I'm worried about my chickens' progress. Let me send you pictures of how they look like, and then I want to compare them to yours. Also send me pictures, and trust you me, people. So she sent the pictures. I'll show you, compared my chicks compared to her chicks. Oh my goodness, like I was like, oh my goodness. Yani, I've been starving these chicks this much. Like you could tell when they say feeds are everything, trust you me, they are everything. Has looked like they looked healthy. I'll share the pictures at some point. Has looked healthy, maybe a bit bigger, stronger, that is. And then zangu zilikuwa zinaka like they were still 3 days old. And that is when I came to a conclusion again. If perhaps, because if you have some feeds that you're giving your chicks, there is a way, a layman's way, you can tell if this is rich or this is just a feed like EV feed, like substandard feed. There was a significant difference in the texture of the feeds. Now the ones I bought first, hizo zinaitwa Kagira. I told you they look like inaitwa hiyo keki, fruit cake. Very rich, like brown. You could see they were a bit oilish, like ilikuwa inaka, it looked healthy. You see? And then the other ones, ilikuwa inaka like flakes. You know how you've taken cornflakes, It looked like that. So meaning there were key ingredients akina sunflowers, that sunflower, I don't know, omena or something, but some oils. You could tell they were missing that. Okay? So I don't know, they're squeezed on the corner. But the broilers sleep a lot, So anyway, that's a difference. If you have some feeds na unaona zinakaa tu hafifu, they look like cornflakes, like bran peke yake, they don't have that rich brown texture, trust you me, chances are they are fake. Don't use them for maybe improved kienyeji or kienyeji, but for broilers, Remember, you're doing this for business. They're supposed to have attained a certain weight by 5 weeks to 6, and then here you are weak. So anywho, I eventually sijui kwa nini zinalala, and then they're there. Look at them. Let me see if I can give them some bit of space. So that they can start eating. So yes. So anyway, I bought the unga feeds and they are loving it. I've mixed the unga feeds with the starter kidogo, with the broiler starter, and let's see how this journey goes. So something else, so from Kenchik, what did I learn? Kenchik says you're supposed to vaccinate at day 14, and then between day 1 and 21 you're only giving chick starter. Well, my vet said you can introduce the finisher from as early as 15 days. So right now I've mixed chick starter, the one that was remaining, not the bad brand, another, the Karuga one. I think I liked it because I was too far gone to go buy unga again, and it was only like 4 more days. So anyway, so there they are eating their feeds. This is day 14. They're in perfect health. Once I see maybe imepona and I have no idea, I'm still looking for the sick chick. I want to show you the deformity. So what I was advised is let it grow. Ikifika at a certain point, maybe 3-4 weeks up, and you can still see the node, then remove it, separate it from the rest of the chicks, because watakuwa wanaona ni kitu cha black or something, so they would want to pick it